Hi, this is Project Spark Game Mechanics. I'm Lady Lex UK, and today we are doing our final Brave video, and I'm going to show you how to make a hub world. Now, in the game Brave, she has like a forest area, and as she completes each level, different portals open up in that forest area that allows her to progress through the game, and she can go backwards through to previous levels that she's already completed at will. But she can't go forward to levels that she hasn't unlocked yet. So let me show you what I've built here. So here's my Merida character, and I've got a goblin here, and I'm just going to use him so that he can attack us and change our health. So you can see that I've popped the health bar above her head. You might not want that above her head. I've just done that convenience to show you today. So that goblin's given us a good old attacking, and we've lost quite a bit of health. So let's kill him. Right, he's now dead. I'm now going to change my sword type, which we've shown you in previous videos. There we are. I've got to change it to a nice blue, nice quiet one. And I'm also going to get myself some coins. I've killed that flower thing, and I've got myself 15 coins, which shows up in the top right hand corner. Okay, so now I've got various variables that I've running. I've got a health variable, I've got a weapon type, and I've also got some money. So if we go over here, this is the only portal that's active. These ones, if I go up to them, they say they are locked, and I can sort of get in the doorway, but that's about it. I can't do anything else. So let's go through the portal. So it says press B, and it says leaving this world. And straight away we are now loading up level 2. Oh, level 1 rather. Level 1, our second level in that we've made. There we go. So now we'll pretend that we've finished this level. And we'll go back to our hub world through the portal. And you'll notice our health stayed exactly the same. So did our money, and so did our weapon choice. Come back to the hub world. It's reloading the hub world. Now if you remember that when we first came here, we were attacked by a goblin. But we killed him, and so there he's no longer here. So we don't have to worry about killing him again. He's no longer here because that state was changed with the campaign variable. So now you'll notice portal 2 has been opened up. I can now go through here, and I can do the same as I did before, and it's now going to load up level 2. So there we go, it's loaded, and again you can see all of our levels, except at the top there you can see it says Brave level 1 is true because we've completed level 1, and I've put in a variable that prints that out on the top right hand corner. You probably wouldn't have that in your level. This is just debug for me. And we'll come up to this hub world, we'll press B, and you'll see level 2 has now appeared alongside it. And we're back to the Brave hub. And this should have opened up portal number 3 for us. There we go. All our portals are now open, and I can go back through any of the ones that I want to at my leisure. Okay, so let's have a look and see how this is done. Okay, first of all, every single level has got a logic cube in it. Not just the hub world and all the subsequent levels that you're going to link to will need this logic cube. What it says is once, if the campaign player object is nothing, so if there's no campaign player object been set, then we're going to create a player object, and we're going to make it from an assembly that we've saved. And this is our character assembly, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Otherwise, our player object is going to be our campaign player object. So if we've already set one, then we're going to just recreate it again exactly as it was when it was created as a campaign player object. It's still going to be Merida, it's still going to be the same character, but all her settings, all her variables, everything that's happened to her is going to be saved, and we're going to create that campaign player object. She's not going to be fresh, she's not going to be new, she's not going to be reset. She's going to be exactly as she was as you went from level to level. For this level only, I've got this extra bit. It says not goblin bruiser. So if there is no goblin, as soon as there's no goblin, so as soon as you've killed him, then we're going to set a campaign variable, that boolean goblin, to true. And in our goblin brain, it says when campaign goblin is true, destroy. So next time you come into this level, it's just going to immediately destroy itself in the first frame. So you won't get to see him because we've already killed him once. We don't want him to keep popping up every time you reload the level. So that's how we've got rid of that goblin. Right. Now over here, I have, you won't have this in your level. I'm just doing this so that we can see her. This is our Merida character, if I can grab her, not her hair. Right, you're going to save this as an assembly, and this has got all of the code in, most of the code in that you're going to need to use. Now at the top here, we've got that debug code that I had at the top right hand corner. You probably won't need this, but this is just checking to see whether these levels have been set, and then put in some text at the top so that I know. Right, now we get down to the campaign variables. So at the beginning, when the character is created, and the character will be created every single time you come to this level, because it's either going to be created as a brand new character, as Merida, a brand new character, or it's going to be created as a campaign character. It's going to check to see if there is a campaign weapon type. So if the campaign weapon type is greater than 1, then weapon type equals that campaign weapon type. So it's checking to see if the weapon type is anything other than the default, and if it's different, then it's going to change it. Otherwise, it's going to set it as the default. So when you first came into the game, it's going to be weapon type 1. Then it's going to check to see if your health is greater than 0, and then it's going to set the health to be the campaign health. Otherwise, the default will be health equals 100. As it's unlikely that you're going to actually go through, well, you're not going to be able to get through to a level with a health of 0. As soon as the health has been set, whether it's 100, 99, 98, doesn't matter, it's going to look for the campaign health variable and set it for that. It's just going to set it for 100 at the very beginning of the game because we don't have a campaign health variable. Same happens with the money. And then we've got some booleans here. So if campaign boolean level 2 is true, then we're going to set it true in our player brain. Otherwise it's false. Level 1, true, otherwise false. And then we're going to say our campaign health variable is our health, our campaign money is our money, and our campaign weapon type is our weapon type. So what this does is that it makes sure that the campaign version of your variables is changed when your player variable is changed. Same down here with our campaign levels. Our campaign levels are the same as our player levels. There we go. So that's all in our character. This is saved as an assembly. You don't put this in your world. You save it to your gallery and you pull it in code using this block. And like I say, this logic cube is found on all levels that you're going to link to. Right, let's have a look at the portal. This is just a special effect and a doorway. The code is inside this cube. it says it's based on the Door to Another World brain. So if you copy that first and then just change it slightly to reflect these changes. So we say detect player and not have power, say this is Brave level 1. When you interact with it, it's going to toggle the power and it's going to create a player campaign variable to be our player. So at the point of interacting with that portal, it's going to make a copy of your player and all the variables within it, all the campaign variables within it, whatever numbers they are set at, that is what is going to be recreated as our player when we get to the other end. When it has power, this is the Door to Another World code. You're going to detect the player. There's a duration. We're going to put up leaving this world and a display meter which is going to count down, or count up rather, and then we're going to fade out and we're going to go to our first level, which is Brave 1, and then we're going to turn all the power off and set the pace back to 1 again. Okay, so we're going to freeze the player and then we're going to move to our new world and then unfreeze everything again. Now the other portals are slightly different because they need some information. So first of all, once active equals false. So the portal is not active to start with. If campaign level 1 is true, then we'll set the activity to true. If it's not active, when you go up to it, it's going to say locked. And when it is active, it's going to say Brave level 2. And it's going to then power on our portal special effect. And this portal special effect is power linked to, well, it's not power linked, it's there's a brain in the other special effect that swaps them backwards and forwards. But you could just as easily have grabbed and powered off the black gizmo, but I'll show you that in a minute. So when you interact with this portal, it's exactly the same as before. We're going to set our campaign player variable to be our player. And then we go through the same as we did before, except we're now going to Brave 2. Everything else is exactly the same. Let's have a look at this portal. So we've got a invisible block that just stops them from running all the way through. Make sure collidability is on. Whoops, I pulled the wrong thing out. I have no idea where that's come from. Okay, so there we go. So that's our portal special effects. That's turned off to start with, and that's turned on by our cube, and that's our black area, and that just says power on until the portal has power, and then power off, and that's it. So this one is checking to make sure that you have completed level 1 before it is made active. While this one here, which is exactly the same again, but this one is looking for campaign level 2. So there you go. And that is our hub world. It is a little complicated. I do apologise. It's not really, it certainly isn't a beginner's thing to be doing. And there is a lot of problems. Please be very, very careful when you are testing any level that you make using hub worlds, because if you do not save before you test and you go to another world, you'll find out that when you go into edit mode, you are in the edit mode of that world and not the one you came from, and you will have lost everything that you have coded, everything that you've made before the last save. So please be very, very careful when you are building hub worlds. You must press save before you test. And there we go. So, I hope that was useful. A little bit more complicated this week, I know. Thanks for watching Project Spark Game Mechanics, and keep sparking!